Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the SCSRA National Series presented by Dev Sports Cards. Tonight, these Xfinity cars will be taking on Dover Motor Speedway for 110 laps of racing action for the Monster Mile 110. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight's racing action, Atlee, Atman Weiss, and I'm excited to call all the racing action here tonight. And this should be a fun race, as this is the final race before the championship race. Now, the main thing that we're going to be watching at is these 6 drivers that I'm going to get ready to put a graphic up on the screen right now. This is playoffs round 2, and after tonight, 3 drivers will get eliminated. Currently, the 3 drivers above the cutoff line are Will Witt, who is locked in, and he is one of the 3 drivers that is locked in after last week's win at Bristol. Then it's Cody Moore, and then it is Todd Mays. Right now, those are your top 3 that are currently, if we didn't even run tonight and we just kept it the same, they would be your championship 3. Now, we do have 3 other drivers that are on the outside looking in, and that's Eddie Morris, Josh Hall, and Colin Willems. Those 3 need to be on their A games tonight and need to hope that Whitmore and Mays have rough races tonight, because they need any sort of chance they can get to make that final 3. Colin Willems, he was in that 3rd place spot. Todd Mays was below the cutoff line, but Colin Willems had what may have been one of his worst races of the season at Bristol. He just had terrible luck, got involved in a lot of the wrecks, and ended up manually disconnected at about 3/4 of the way through the race. So not what Colin Willems needed. Could not have come at a worse time, but he's going to try to bounce back here tonight at Dover. Same thing, Josh Hall, Eddie Morris also looking for wins or a top 5 finish to try to lock them into that final 3. So 2 spots left that these 5 drivers will be fighting for. Let's see what happens here at the Monster Mile. Now, of course, we do want to thank, I do want to go over what happened last week. Last week, we were at Bristol Motor Speedway, and Will Witt, he ended up getting his 2nd win of the season, first asphalt win of the season, as he won at, asphalt/concrete. Bristol Motor Speedway is concrete, but this was Will Witt's first ever non-dirt win of the season. The only other win he had had before Bristol was at Eldora. We saw Brian Nudie, he ended up taking 2nd. 3rd place was Blake Hensley, who had a great race, leading 33 laps. We saw Devin Butchino, he ended up finishing 4th. And Isaac Gill, in his triumphant return, he ended up finishing 5th. Now, Cody Moore absolutely dominated Bristol, leading 77 of the 120 laps. However, after a round of green flag pit stops, he lost the track position because he came in to the pits, and he ended up just getting in wreck after wreck after wreck after wreck, and ended up finishing on the lead lap, but in 15th. Also, we saw Eddie Morris lead some laps. He led 6 of the 120 laps. And Colin Willems, who, like I said, had one of his worst races of the season, he finished 23rd, but he did lead 1 of the 120 laps. Also, the battle for the team championship is still on. YXU continues to lead with a 1,000-point lead between them and 2nd place Intensity Racing Team. YXU, again, look at this statistic. They have won 8 of the 13 races. Absolutely dominated this season. Intensity Racing Team, not to be outdone, they have had a fantastic season as well. Still haven't broken into the win column. Mace Mafia Racing, good season. Cyclone Racing in 4th, they're having a good season, and they were definitely had a good, great race last week because of Blake Hensley. And 5th place is Neon Racing, who Devin Butchino has definitely helped them in that standings. He has had a great season, not only in the Truck Series, but also here in the Xfinity Series. I do want to congratulate Brian Nudie. He won the Truck Series, the Fortuna Iron Truck Series Championship. So congratulations to him. Of course, he is not eligible for the championship in this series. He could only declare for 1, but he's still looking to maybe try to play spoiler here tonight and get the win. There he is right there in that number 40 machine. I believe this is his first lap. And there we go. We got our first driver on the board. Craig Schroeder runs a 23.67. He is bested, though, by Cody Moore. Cody runs a 23.36, which is actually better than anything Cody ran in practice, I believe. Brian Newdy's second with a 23.55. Third, Brett Merle with a 23.58. We see Craig Schroeder on his second lap. He gets a 23.55. Second lap, though, Brett Merle bests him and Brian Newdy with a 23.47. Still, though, about a tenth off of first place Cody Moore. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence currently sitting in fifth, but he is knocked out by Todd Mays, who gets to third with a 23.47. Todd Mays, though, also about a tenth off of Cody Moore. There is Cody Moore heading through 3 and 4. He has completed both of his required lap times, but he continues to stay out even after completing both of them, getting a little bit of extra practice time in. I do think we'll have a smaller field tonight just because a lot of drivers are like, hey, I'm not in the running for the championship. I'm not really fighting for the championship, so I might as well just go spend time with my family or do something else. So we might have a little bit of a smaller field tonight. But we do have a lot of non-playoff drivers still in the field looking to try to play spoiler. Brett Merle, Brian Newdy, Craig Schroeder, Cheeseburger. We have Will Witt on track right now in the number 35 machine. And you are going to see that a few of the SCSRA drivers tonight are running breast cancer cars, because one of our drivers, Devin Butchino, his mom is currently going through breast cancer. And so prayers out to her. Hopefully she can get it out of her and recover. So prayers again out to Devin Butchino's mom, who's currently going through breast cancer. Oh no, excuse me, it was ovarian cancer. Still a terrible disease, and we hope that she can recover. So once again, prayers out to Devin Butchino's mom. We do see Colin Willems on track right now in the number 17 machine, looking to try to bounce back after a not-so-good race at Bristol. 8th on the board, 23.62. He's currently about 2/10 off of first place Cody Moore. As always, if you're looking to see where all of the playoff drivers are, their names will be in that green font. Like there you can see how the Moore, the Witt, the Mays, and the Willems, they're all different because they are the playoff drivers. We have Dave Wright in the number 84 machine, out on track right now. He ran a 23.88. That will put him about 5/10 off of Cody Moore. Dave Wright was in the running for the championship, but he got knocked out after the first round along with his brother Joe and Jeffrey Belk. Devin Butchino on Facebook says, much love to you and the Intensity fan, and out of town until Sunday, so I get to watch this one. Well, sorry you couldn't make tonight's race, Devin, but we appreciate you tuning in to watch tonight's broadcast. Hopefully it'll be a good race for you. And much love to you and your family too, Devin. Hope everything gets better for y'all. I know it is tough. I've had people in my family go through cancer before, and it's definitely a tough situation, so I hope she gets better. Eddie Morris to second with a 23.45. He's still about 0.08 off of Cody Moore, but he is the only driver to get within a tenth of him. And again, you may have seen that Eddie Morris has improved rapidly since the beginning of the season, and he attributes it to the fact that he got new pedals. So if you're looking for some speed on iRacing, you're looking to try to improve, maybe get new pedals. I don't know. Eddie Morris he's been great for the second half of the season ever since he got those new pedals. Looking to try to make the Championship 3, currently below the cutoff line. He is really going to need to be on his A game tonight and try to make as little mistakes as possible. Now, of course, I do want to give a shout out to Dev's Sports Cards for all of their support with this series all season long. Now, Dev's Sports Cards, they were established in 2013 by SCSRA driver and Neon Racing team owner Devin Bucciano. Dev Sports Cards specializes in all your sports cards and gaming cards needs, from football, baseball, and basketball cards to Pokemon. Dev Sports Cards sells it all. Now, on their eBay store, you can find a wide variety of items, from high-end sports cards to their weekly 99-cent starting bid 7-day auctions. You don't have time to sell your own cards? Reach out to Devin and ask about his consignment services. Simply package them up, ship them out, and Devin will get them listed, sold, and then you get paid. Dev Sports Cards can be found on eBay with 4,000 plus positive feedback. You can also find them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And Dev Sports Cards, he is a proud sponsor of the SCSRA series and Intensity Broadcasting. So go give Dev Sports Cards from love and pick up some sports cards if that is your kind of thing. Or if you like Pokemon, you can pick some up too. But it is the perfect place to get some, and you're supporting someone who supports our hobby of sim racing. Now, the two drivers I think you got to look out for tonight, and especially because Dover is a unique track. There's only a few tracks kind of like it in the intermediate 1 mile category. Tracks like New Hampshire, Phoenix, Gateway are probably the most similar to Dover. And the two names that I think of that have really been successful in that track type is Will Witt and Cody Moore. I think those two are going to be ones to watch out for tonight. Cody Moore, he won New Hampshire this season, and he's also been really good at like 1 mile or less tracks. I mean, he led the most laps at Bristol. He won at Martinsville. So watch out for Cody Moore. And, of course, you got to watch out for Will Witt. Same thing. He's been very good at the mile or less tracks. He won at New Hampshire last season. Both of them starting in the top 3 tonight. I think it's going to be hard to beat those two. We see Derek Chaput on track right now in the number 37 machine. He's got 20 seconds to try to do a lap time. I don't think he will be able to make it, unfortunately. And he tags the outside wall coming off of turn number 4. We see Mick Olofsson on Facebook. He says, "Let's go, Will." Will Witt looked very, very fast in qualifying. He will be starting in that 3rd place spot. And we'll talk about everybody else who's starting in their respective positions here with the starting lineup. Starting on the pole with a 23.364. It is the 52 YXU racing machine of Cody Moore. Outside of him, it is the 8 of Eddie Morris. 3rd, it is Will Witt starting right behind his YXU teammate in that number 35 machine. 4th, we have Brent Merle in the 11. And then rounding out your top 5, it is member of the Maze Mafia, Todd Mays, in the 9. 6th place, it's the 40 of Brian Nudie. 7th, we have Apex Racing's Craig Schroeder in the 4. 8th, it is Canada's Nick Mather in the 16. 9th, we have YXU Racing's Colin Willems in the 17. And then rounding out your top 10, we have Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in the 47. 11th, we have 2 pedals, 1 clutches, Michael Provo in the 95. 12th, it is Dave Wright. 13th, we have Josh Hall, representing Intensity Racing Team, the 81. 14th, starting right behind his brother, it is Joe Wright in the 82. 15th is Cyclone Racing, Sylvan Seguin. And 16th, we have Neon Racing's Brian Merle Jr. in the 74. And then last but not least, we have Derek Chaput in the number 37 Neon Racing machine. So, a little bit of a smaller field, 17 cars, but that does not mean we will not have good racing. I think we're going to see a lot of fast, competitive racing. But the driver to beat tonight is definitely going to be Cody Moore. I think there's few drivers that are going to be able to stop him tonight. We will see what happens, though. Good to see Sylvan Seguin back. He has been out for a very, very long time as he was having some internet issues, but he is back, and we'll see if he's better than ever. He did not turn a qualifying lap, so he'll be starting on the back, so he'll have his work cut out for him to work his way back up through the field. But once again, good to see Sylvan back. He does a lot behind the scenes for this league. He is one of the admins. He works on the points. He does other administrative things, and I know everybody in the SCSRA appreciates all that Sylvan does for us. He definitely keeps a lot of this. This league definitely wouldn't be possible without Sylvan Seguin keeping everything running. So here we go, coming to the green flag. The fans are on their feet here at the Monster Mile. 110 laps. And green flag is out, the Monster Mile. 110 is underway here at Dover Motor Speedway. Cody Moore is taking off. He's got Eddie Morris right on his outside as we head into 1 and 2. Cody able to get clear, and Will Witt going to follow right behind him to that second place spot. 1-2 is currently YXU Racing as we head into turns 3 and 4. Eddie Morris looking to try to reel back in Will Witt for this second place spot. Back through the field, we see Brian Nudie coming up on Todd Mays for that 5th place spot. Todd Mays needs a good race tonight. He is the first driver above the cutoff line. He needs to be on his A game or he will not be able to make that final 3. We see Brett Merle coming up on Eddie Morris for this 3rd place spot. And also Will Witt starting to reel in Cody Moore a little bit for this 1st place spot. Good run on the front stretch for that number 35 machine last time by. Will Witt actually ran the fastest lap time of the race so far with a 23.53. Continuing to reel him in bit by bit. Loses him a little bit though in turns 3 and 4. And you know Will Witt is going to rate, that time by we saw Cody Moore ran a 23.52. That is the new fastest lap time of the race. And you know Will Witt racing around his teammate, he's going to be a little bit more cautious than if he was racing around somebody else. So I don't think we'll see a ton of beating and banging in this battle. Colin Willems coming up on Brian Nudie for this 5th place spot. Willems definitely in search for a good race tonight, after he had a very, very rough race at Bristol. Currently sits in last in the championship standings. A top 5 would definitely help that 17 machine in his chances to get to the final 3. Colin Willems right now, looking high, looking low, trying to set up the pass on Nudie. Again, just like I said with Cody Moore and Will Witt, Willems is going to run Brian a little bit more clean than how he would with another driver that isn't on YXU Racing. So I don't think, like I said, we'll see a ton of beating and banging in this battle. I think we'll see a lot more give and take between these two. As you know, you don't want to wreck your teammate. Right now, Colin Willems, he knows Brian's tendencies, and these drivers are used to racing at these kinds of tracks, like at New Hampshire, for example. So Colin He's looking to see what Brian Nudi's doing, looking to see where he's braking, where he's lifting, where he's getting back into the gas. He's going to try to use that to his advantage by maybe adjusting his line. And, oh, he's actually looking under Brian here as we head into turns 3 and 4. Willems with the nose. He is able to get clear Colin Willems to the 5th place spot now. This is exactly what Colin wants, a good top 5 run here tonight. We see Maria Bodnar Madsen on Facebook says, get up there, Brian and Brett, 11 and 74. Brett Merle having a very, very good top 5 run here tonight. He currently sits in 4th, trying to reel in Eddie Morris for that 3rd place spot. Brian, he is having a bit of a rough race right now. Currently sits in that 16th place spot. 1 spot away from last, but he is currently looking low under Josh Hall for 15th. He's got the nose over him, and he is able to get clear. So Brian Merle Jr. now into the top 15, looking to try to continue to work his way up through the field. We see Craig Schroeder trying to get by Nick Mather for this 7th place spot. Now, Schroeder, Mather, they are not teammates, so I think we might see a little bit less give and take compared to when we've seen 2 teammates battle. Mather blinking very, very bad. There we go. He is back in that 16 machine. He had a little bit of connection issues, probably. That's why he was blinking, and he's getting away from Craig Schroeder a little bit. Michael Provolt coming up on Schroeder for this 8th place spot. That 95 machine is looking to have a good end to this season. Provolt has not gotten a top 5 this season, and he is looking to change that here tonight at Dover. Currently running in the top 10. If everything goes to plan, that might be possible. We do see Colin Willems able to get by Brett Merle for that 4th place spot. Colin Willems continuing to work his way up through the field. He knows that he needs to have a mistake-free competitive race here tonight at Dover if he wants any chance at making that final 3. He is currently 14 points below the cutoff line. Brian Nudi also coming up on Brett Merle for this 5th place spot. Looks like Brett Merle has really burnt off his tires on that number 11 machine. Yeah, he's about 4/10 off of what the leaders are currently running right now. I'm not sure what happened to Brett Merle. I don't know if he's saving or he's already burnt off those tires. I do think maybe Brett Merle might be just dropping to about mid to the rear and just save tires and conserve those tires, so he will be there in the end. We see Michael Provolt running all the way up against the wall, and that is going to allow Todd Mace to get under him. Michael Provolt looking to try to get back by Todd Mays for that 10th place spot. Now Nick Mather is coming up on Brett Merle. Again, I don't know if Merle is conserving or if he just burnt off his tires already. But Mather coming up on him fast, the difficult part. Mather continuing to blink very badly. And he falls off him a little bit. Coming back, though. Big run through 3 and 4 for Mather, getting right up to that back bumper of the 11 machine. Looking low, he is to the rear quarter panel. Mather side by side as we head onto the backstretch. He has the nose. Continues to have a great battle. We see Craig Schroeder there as well. Mather getting all the way down on the apron, and he is going to lose both positions to Brett Merlin and Craig Schroeder. Actually, Nick Mather coming into the pits. Oh no, what is going on? Hits the inside wall. And what? I am not sure what just happened to Nick Mather. Let's watch this replay here for Mather. He dives on the apron, and it looks like he was coming in. And he was definitely speeding. Hits the outside wall. I am not sure what happened there with Nick Mather. That is unfortunate because he was very, very competitive here tonight, running in the top 10. That may have just, and yeah, he's mainly disconnected. So Nick Mather is out of tonight's event, and we are not even halfway through. We see Todd Mays coming up on Craig Schroeder for that 6th place spot. Todd Mays, definitely one of the drivers that needs a good race tonight. He is the first driver above the cutoff line. And he is only 3 points above the cutoff line, so one mistake tonight could cost him his spot in the final 3. So every position counts for Todd Mays. We see Brian Nudie able to get back by Colin Willems for this 4th place spot. Currently running about 0.3 faster than Willems. I don't know if Willems burnt off his tires a little bit more compared to Nudie. Again, we watch Todd Mays coming up on Craig Schroeder. They're both running very, very similar lap times right now. Todd Mays getting a good run on the backstretch. Trying to look low. Craig Schroeder pushes up. Todd Mays able to get below him. He has the nose. He is cleared Todd Mays to the 6th place spot now. Looks like Brian Nudie able to get by Eddie Morris, who also looks like he has burnt off his tires. He ran a 25 last time by. See Colin Willems also looking to get by Eddie Morris here. Yeah, he does. Eddie Morris not looking too good right now. May have burnt off his tires a little bit there. Now I do want to take a little bit of time to take about the track that we are racing at tonight, and that is Dover Motor Speedway. Now, they don't call it the Monster Mile for nothing, and it's not just because there's a 46-foot-tall, muscle-bound statue outside the gates named Miles the Monster. No, Dover International Speedway is a real monster of a racetrack. Dover has some of the most extreme harness racing. It is one of the most extreme. It's one of the most extreme banking, 24 degrees on the NASCAR circuit. Even the straights are banked at 9 degrees, and Dover is one of the only 2 NASCAR tracks that features concrete pavement the whole way around, along with Bristol Motor Speedway, which we raced at last week. Now, Dover is also unique in that the track is a part of a larger sports and entertainment complex that includes a hotel, gaming casino, and a horse racing track. But it's the mechanical ponies of the NASCAR stock cars and trucks that grab motorsports fans' attention. Up to 140,000 people from the Mid-Atlantic and beyond flock to the track for 2 big NASCAR weekends in the spring and fall. Constructed between 1967 and 1969, Dover International Speedway was initially, or actually is right now, it's only the spring. Constructed between 1967 and 1969, Dover International Speedway was initially paved with asphalt. It wasn't until 1995's comprehensive revamp that the track was paved in concrete, giving Dover's racing service its distinctive white appearance, albeit with many shades of gray and black after a weekend's worth of rubber is laid down. Now, no matter the pavement, Dover has been one of the most competitive tracks on the NASCAR schedule. From 1969 through 80, 21 of the 22 Cup races at Dover International Speedway were won by drivers who either already had or would go on to win the championship in NASCAR's top series. The names of those winners are part of the fabric of the sport. Richard Petty, Bobby Allison, David Pearson, Cale Yarborough, Benny Parsons, and Darrell Waltrip. More recently, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, and a host of other stock car legends have added their names to the list. Dover International Speedway's winners, a roster that includes Scott Sharp and Greg Ray, who each won a race during Dover's brief appearance on the IndyCar calendar in the late 1990s. So Dover always been one of my favorite intermediate tracks in like the 1 mile category, just because of its uniqueness and that banking. That banking makes for some really, really good racing. We're seeing that so far here tonight. Dover, really, it's a very, very racy track, if you know what I mean. We do see Eddie Morris coming back up on Colin Williams for this 4th place spot. Morris about a 10th faster than Colin at the moment. We did see he had fallen off a little bit and Colin had gotten by him, but a big run on the front stretch for Eddie. He's getting right up to that back bumper. We do see he loses him a little bit here in turns 1 and 2, but a great corner exit for that 8 machine gets him right back up to the back bumper. Again, loses him on quarter entry, pushes up towards the wall, and he's going to fall off a little bit there. He comes back up, though, on exit of 4. Eddie Morris not very good on corner entry, but we do see he gains on Willems off of the exit of the corner. We do see this is going to be a 3-car battle now as Todd Mays is right there as well. We do see our first driver has gone a lap down. That is Josh Hall. Josh Hall, Sylvan Seguin, and Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. Lap traffic may play a factor all throughout tonight's event. Eddie Morris looking high, looking low, trying to set up a pass on that 17 machine. He goes high, and he's going to fall off Colin a little bit there. Gets a good run coming off of 4, though. Looking low as we head into turns 1 and 2. We see Colin comes up the track, leaving the door open for Eddie to get under him, but he can't quite. Goes right back behind the back bumper of Colin. And the green flag pit stops may be beginning. Sylvan Seguin is on to pit road. Unfortunately, his car actually isn't looking too hot, so this may be an unscheduled pit stop for Sylvan. I don't know. I think we'll still stay green or keep running a little bit before green flag pit stops start. Eddie Morris under Colin Willems for this 4th place spot, side by side. Willems still holding his own on that outside lane. Dover is kind of a 2-groove racetrack. You can be successful on that outside, and a good run for Colin Willems. But the door is open for Eddie Morris. He had the nose, and we see Willems fights back on the outside, and he gets back clear of Eddie Morris. So see, even if you're on the outside lane, hope is not lost. We do see Joe Wright in the pits right now. He does not have any damage, so I believe this is starting the green flag pit cycle. The question is, will we see as intensity teammates follow Dave Wright, Josh Hall, Eddie Morris? Let's see what he does here. If this is... Yep, it is tires for Joe Wright, so the green flag pit cycle has begun. Looks like Joe Wright going for the short pit strategy. Only 10 cars remain on the lead lap now. Eddie Moore still trying to get by Colin Willems for this 4th place spot. He's able to get to the rear quarter panel, to the doors side by side. Morris has the nose coming off of turn number 4. Great battle. He is able to get clear. Eddie Morris to the 4th place spot. Side by side for 5th. Todd Mays looking to try to follow his fellow volunteer. Both of them from Tennessee. Michael Provolt into the pits now. He is going to make his green flag pit stop. We'll see if some of his other 2 pedals, 1 clutch teammates come in with him. Looks like Todd Mays was not able to follow behind Eddie and get under Collins, so he's going to stay behind him and try to set up a pass on that number 17 machine. And there we go, Cody Moore into the pits now. Same thing with Craig Schroeder, who was running in the top 5 for a lot of tonight's event. Both of them are into the pits. So this will give the lead now to Will Witt in that number 35 machine. Question is, how long is he willing to stay out? Currently on 44 lap tires. We'll see how quickly fresh tires can work their way up through the field. Colin Willems making that hard left turn onto pit road, and oh no! He was definitely speeding. That is unfortunate for Colin Willems. Todd May is able to get onto pit road safely. It did not look like Colin did. Almost hit the barrels. It had to have been close. If he does get a speeding penalty, that might have just been the final straw for Willems' championship hopes. 6 drivers on the lead lap right now. Will Witt continues to stay out. He is going to be the last of, oh no, that's not true. Brian Newdy has not come in yet. I was about to say he's going to be the last of the YXU drivers to come in, but Brian Newdy currently running in second place. He continues to stay out. Brian Merle Jr. coming up on Eddie Morris for this third place spot. Merle running about a 10th faster than Eddie at the moment. Last time I was about 5/10 faster. We see Eddie gives up the track, moves up the track, leaves the door open for Brian Merle Jr. He gets under him side by side as we head through turns 3 and 4. Brian Merle Jr. with the nose. He's able to get clear. Brian Merle Jr. to third place now. Brian Newdy, he is reeling in Will Witt fast for this first place position. These two still need to make a green flag pit stop. Question is, how long are they willing to stay out? Brian Newdy looking low under Will. Now Will Witt, even if he does get in a wreck or he has a rough race, he is still locked into the championship. Still, a win would be very, very cool. He would have won both races in this round. Brian Newdy looking low as we head into turns 1 and 2. He is right there. You see Maria Barner and Matson says, good job, B. Oh, we see Eddie Morris is into the pits now, so that leaves just 3 drivers, pretty much, that need to come in. Will Witt, Brian Newdy, and Brian Merle Jr. Brian Merle Jr., driver that Maria Bonder-Madsen was shouting out. He is currently running in the third place spot, having a great race night. We'll see if this strategy of stay out as long as possible will work out for him. Dave Wright currently first driver down a lap. Looking to try to get it back here. And they continue to stay out. If Brian Newdy is battling with Will Witt, we'll see a lot of give and take between these two as they are teammates. You don't want to wreck your teammate. Driver with the freshest tires is Joe Wright. You should see him quickly work his way up through the field. Currently 2 laps down. Here he is. I see him. He is coming up on your leaders, looking to try to get one of the 2 laps back. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence into the pits now in that number 47 machine. Brett Merle into the pits in that 11. Will Witt, Brian Newdy continue to stay out. I believe this will be a 2-stop race. And there we go. Brian Nudi into the pits now. He comes in before Will Witt. Looks like he had some issues getting into the pits. I don't know if he was speeding or not. If so, that will definitely hurt Brian. So he's going to come and get some fresh tires, some Sunoco fuel. And Will Witt coming in this time by the wrap. Oh, he also spins on pit road. A lot of drivers having issues with pit road entry. So Will Witt, one of the last drivers that needs to come in. Getting some fresh tires, Sunoco fuel. Brian Merle Jr., he is the final driver, I believe, that needs to make a green flag pit stop. Brian Merle Jr., he continues to stay out. He is leading laps here tonight. Brian Merle Jr. has had a rough go at it this season, has finished in the top 10 in only 4 of the 13 races. But having a great race here tonight. He is leading laps. We see Dave Wright into the pits now. Here comes Michael Lawrence, Sylvain Seguin. Lawrence getting one of his laps back. He'll still be 2 laps down. Sylvain getting one of his laps back. He'll still be 4 laps down. But hey, getting a lap back is getting a lap back. Derek Chaput coming in now in the number 37 machine. Will Witt just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 23.51. He is currently on those new tires. And there we go. Brian Merle Jr. into the pits now. Also having a little bit of trouble on pit road entry. So he is going to be the last driver to come in. And that'll also mean he will have the freshest tires out of the entire field. So now Cody Moore has inherited the lead after green flag pit stops. And we'll see what the rest of the top 5 will look like. We see, so Cody Moore currently runs in first, Brian Nudi second, and Will Witt currently runs in third place right now. Remember though, first has older tires than second, and third, or first has older tires than second, and second has older tires than third. So just keep that in mind. We're going to turn up the volume and pump up the intensity here. Hopefully you will enjoy us turning up the volume, and you'll get to see the sights and hear the sounds of the racetrack. Here we go. There you go. That will do it for Pump Up the Intensity. Hopefully you enjoyed us turning up the volume, but we set our sights back now to the racing action. Cody Moore currently has a 14-second lead over second place Brian Nudi in the field. very, very, very spread out right now. Not a lot of action on track. We do see a battle going on for the 12th place spot between Derek Chaput and Michael Lawrence, and it's happening right by as one of the faster cars heads by. We see Chaput looking low under Lawrence on the front stretch, almost to the rear quarter panel. This is for the 12th place spot. He is looking low here. Now I do want to quickly see, these are after the halfway point. These are the drivers that I think you got to watch out for in the closing portions of the race. First off, I'd probably have to say first place driver Cody Moore. He has been dominant all race long, just like he was at Bristol, looking to maybe try to have a different result than Bristol and get the win here tonight. And if so, he will be locked into the final three. Another driver you got to watch out for tonight is Will Witt in the number 35 machine. He can push the car as hard as he wants, because even if he does make a mistake or mess up, he is still locked into the final three. Both drivers very, very good at 1 mile intermediate tracks. Sylvain Seguin coming in, but he has some damage, so I don't think this is a scheduled pit stop. So I think we'll still keep on going, keep on chugging. One more time, I do want to thank Dev Sports Cards for their support of the league. Dev Sports Cards was established in 2013 by SCSRA driver and Nealon Racing team owner Devin Buccino. Dev Sports Cards specializes in all your sports cards and gaming cards needs, from football, baseball, and basketball cards to Pokemon. Dev Sports Cards sells it all. On their eBay store, you can find a wide variety of items, from high-end sports cards to the weekly 99-cent starting bid 7-day auctions. If you don't have time to sell your own cards, reach out to Devin and ask about his consignment services. Simply package up your cards, ship them out, and Devin will get them listed, sold, and then you get paid. Dev Sports Cards can be found on eBay with 4,000 plus positive feedback, and you can also find them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And Dev Sports Cards is a proud sponsor of the SCSRA series and Intensity Broadcasting. So go support someone who supports our hobby of sim racing and get some cards from Dev Sports Cards. Bit by bit, Brian Nudie is reeling in Cody Moore for this first place spot. Now remember, Brian Nudie, he has about 10 lap fresher tires than Cody Moore, about 13 lap fresher tires, and that will make a ton of difference. So he will probably get up to him eventually if he keeps up this pace, but we'll see when that happens. Only 4 cars on the lead lap right now. This has certainly been a dominant performance for Cody Moore. Again, if Cody Moore wins, he will automatically advance to the final 3, and then it'll be up to the rest of the the rest of the 4 drivers to battle it out. And look at this, green flag pit stops have begun once again. Cody Moore goes on to pit road, and he will start the cycle again. Cody Moore going for the short pit strategy. We'll see if it pays off for him. Again, Cody Moore led around the first 77 laps, and then after the second round of green flag pit stops, that's when all the accidents started happening. So hopefully Cody Moore doesn't suffer the same fate that he did at Bristol. So Brian Nudie, because Cody Moore came in, he is now your new leader. Oh, getting on the apron a little bit there. That got him a little bit squirrely. He's actually coming up on Eddie Morris, looking to put him down a lap, and then there will be only 3 cars on the lead lap. The battle's on between Brian Merle Jr. and Joe Wright for 6th. Looks like actually Joe Wright coming in this time by along with his brother Dave. So they're also going for the short pitch strategy. Brian Newty, he stayed out for 55 laps. He still has a long way to go before he reaches that. I don't think he'll get quite to that stint. I think he'll come in around lap 44. So that'll be at around lap 100, I think we'll see him come in. Until then, stay out front and just try to get as many drivers a lap down as possible and just try to get away. Yep, that's really just the main goal. Get as many drivers a lap down as possible. There you go. He has now put Eddie Morris down a lap, so that will leave 3 cars on the lead lap. One of those being Craig Schroeder. Craig Schroeder has not gotten a single top 10 this season, but here he is running in the top 3, even competing for a win. So Craig Schroeder, his first top 10 and top 5 may be also a win here tonight. Make sure, as always, to check out the IntensityBroadcasting.com, which is our merchandise store. There you can find all of our Intensity Broadcasting merchandise, from Intensity Broadcasting t-shirts to Intensity Broadcasting hats, Intensity Broadcasting mugs, Intensity Broadcasting stickers, and Intensity Broadcasting mouse pads. Also, if you follow my real life racing, I race in real life, I drive Bandoleros, you can purchase all of my merchandise on there. So we have At Luis Racing t-shirts, At Luis Racing hoodies, At Luis Racing hats, polos, jackets, beanies. We also have our auto racing novelty section where you can get shirts like the Pucker Moment shirt, PD Powered, Cautions Breed Cautions, Race Car Money, Big Bushy Bearings. And we also have our league collection, and you can purchase merchandise with Original Rebels, SCSRA, Thunderstruck, Mayhem Racing League, and Extreme Forces. Especially make sure to check out the SCSRA collection, because you are watching in SCSRA Broadcasting. There you can find SCSRA bubble-free stickers, photo paper posters, and SCSRA t-shirts. Also, we have a new thing we're doing. If you look at our website, you can see driver collections, and there's 3 little spaces that say put your driver merch here. If you are a real-life racer and you are interested in getting some merchandise made for your racing team, please, please, please contact us. We would be happy to make you shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and so much more for your racing team to give out to all your fans, your family, your friends, because it's really, really cool to see everybody supporting you wearing your stuff instead of, another racer stuff. So all you got to do is just tell us what all you want. We'll design stuff up for you, and then we'll put it on our website, and all you need to do is just send that link out to all of your family, your friends, your fans, and then just go straight to our website and purchase it. And now you will have everybody at the racetrack with your name and your logos and stuff on that t-shirt. So again, if you're a real-life racer and you're interested in getting something like that done, please feel free to contact us at Intensity Broadcasting. Just tell us everything you want on the shirt or the hat, and we will get it made for you. Brian, we have 22 laps to go here at the Monster Mile. Brian Newty currently has a 2-second lead over second place Will Witt. Now, Will Witt only has 1 lap fresher tires compared to Brian Newty, but he's currently running about 7/10 faster, and he is reeling them in very, very fast. Craig Schroeder now into the pits, getting some fresh tires, some Sunoco fuel. Brian Newty, Will Witt continue to stay out. A lot of drivers still need to come in, actually. Eddie Moore still needs to come in. Brian Merle Jr., Todd Mays, among others. Brian Newty, he is looking to play spoiler here tonight. Brian Newty won last night's Fortuna Iron Truck Series Championship. That is his first ever SCSRA championship, so congrats to Brian Newty for getting that done. And of course, you were only allowed to be eligible for one championship, so he's just here having fun and looking to try to play spoiler against the other championship contenders. Here's Cody Moore looking to get his lap back from Brian. There we go, Cody Moore. He is now on the lead lap, and once Brian Newty comes in, Cody should be able to inherit that lead back. And when those two were around each other, you know they were going to give each other some give and take, as they are teammates. We are 3 wide at one point there on the backstretch. That was a little bit sketchy between Cheeseburger, Brett Merle, and Cody Moore, but that all solved itself, luckily. Brian Newty still has the impending threat of Will Witt coming up on him. Will Witt still running about 2/10 faster than Newty at the moment. $15 laps to go here at the Monster Mile. We got 15 miles left here. Question is, will Brian Newty be able to dethrone either of the 1 mile intermediate track kings of Will Witt and Cody Moore? That is the question. His tires continue to wear, though. And his fuel has got to be getting pretty low. Say in the next 2 to 3 laps he comes in. I don't think he'll be able to make it. Unless Brian Newty strategically planned it so that he can make it the rest of the way. And Cody Moore, he's not really getting away from Brian either. He's looking at Brian Newty looking low under Cody Moore. He puts him back down a lap after Cody got by him. Nope, we see Cody passes Newty again. And he will stay on the lead lap for now. Oh, once again, Brian Newty looking low under Cody Moore. Here's Michael Provolt getting one of his laps back. So he will now be 2 laps down instead of 3. Craig Schroeder will now be 3 laps down instead of 4. 10 laps to go for Brian Newty. Will he be able to stay out all the way? That is the question. 8 laps to go for Brian Nudie. He's got a 1.2 second lead over second place Will Witt. Both of them are currently running identical lap times. One thing that Brian Nudie cannot have is a mistake here. One mistake will cost him the race, because Will Witt is right there breathing down his neck. See, he gets by Dave Wright, putting him 4 laps down instead of 3. No matter if Will's in front of Brian, or Cody's in front of Brian, or Brian's in front of Will and Cody, it'll still be a YXU 1-2-3 finish, and it'll continue YXU's dominance over the SCSRA National Series. That time by Will Witt was about a 10th faster than Brian Nudie. It'll be cutting it close for Brian Nudie on tires and fuel. That time by, he was actually a 10th faster than Will Witt. I'm really excited to talk to Brian about, his strategy and the thought process of it. That is, if he makes it to the end, there's a chance he could blow a tire or run out of fuel. Can he make it? 3 laps to go now for Brian Nudie. How much longer can he hang on? He just got done winning the Fortuna Iron Truck Series Championship in the other SCSRA Series on Tuesday night, and now he's looking to win in the Xfinity Series. If he wins, this will be Brian's second win of the season. The other win he got was at Richmond. Brian Nudie has finished in the top 10 in 10 of the 12 races, which is absolutely incredible. Always a very consistent driver. Rarely gets in any incidents. Final lap for Brian Nudie. Can he bring it home, or will he run out of fuel and it will be too late? On the backstretch, Brian Nudie 1.5 seconds ahead of Will Witt. Heading through 3 and 4. Coming off of turn number 4, Brian Nudie is looking good. He will win the Monster Mile 110 here at Dover Motor Speedway. I believe Cody Moore, with this good finish, he will be in the final 3. My question is, who will be the third driver? I believe it'll be between Eddie Morris and Todd Mays. Brian Nudie. And also, another thing I want to point out, a 1-2-3 finish once again for YXU Racing. We see everyone lining up for a picture, a team picture. Always good to see a dominant team performance. Except for when Brian Merle Jr. was leading, there wasn't really a time where somebody not from YXU was leading the race. And burning it down on the Dover concrete is Brian Nudie. Second win of the season for him. Starting off, we have our third place finisher, the man from Cincinnati, Ohio, Cody Moore, on track right now. So we're going to go ahead and pull him in. Cody, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. Do you got a copy?
I got you, bud.
Awesome. Well, another great race for you tonight. I know you led a lot of laps here tonight, but you didn't quite get the finish that you wanted, which was that first place position. But still, great performance. I know you were leading the majority of the green flag runs. You got out to the lead. For the first green flag run, you came in, everybody came in, the cycle went through, you got back out to the lead, but you had to come in one more time. Brian and Will did not, and they were able to stay ahead of you, and you ended up settling that third place spot. Still, I mean, great performance. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
Yeah, the goal coming in tonight was just to advance. The speed was nice. I was surprised I got the pole, and I was surprised I was able to lead that much. And yeah, just made a bad strategy call there that I thought it was a two-stop race, and it was a one-stop race. But yeah, happy that Nudie got the win. Happy Will got second. I was really pulling for Colin. I wish he would have been able to get the win so he could advance. But it's not looking good for that. But yeah, the car was tight if you didn't really get off the corner right, and I had a ton of speed in the first run. Like I felt really confident, and the car felt good. And I came out that second run with Colin, and it just, yeah, I don't know. I killed my speed, and I don't know if that would have been enough to do a two-stop if I would have had a second stint like I did that first stint, but it died. And then the third stint I felt good again, but it wasn't enough to catch him.
Now, I've been noticing you've always, since last season and this season, you're always really, really good at the intermediate 1 mile tracks like New Hampshire. What do you think makes you so good at them?
I think it's just braking. I think my kryptonite's sort of 1.5 miles, and luckily those are sort of dying out. Bacino and Nudie definitely have my number on the 1.5 miles. But yeah, I think it's just braking and yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm better at short tracks, even though this doesn't really drive like a short track. There's still a lot of braking and getting through the corner.
Now, I believe with this finish, you are locked in to the final three. How confident are you with Homestead?
I feel good. It depends on who the third person is. I don't know who we're looking at.
I believe it'll be probably Eddie or Todd.
Okay, yeah. Then I feel pretty confident. Will's fast. That dude can come out of nowhere. So, but yeah, I feel good. I'll be running laps, and hopefully I can capture a championship.
Awesome. Now, is there anybody you'd like to shout out or thank?
Of course, I want to thank by thanking my beautiful wife Maggie, my kids, Papa Moore watching at home, all my YXU teammates, all my Veritone coworkers, Nico, David, everyone watching at home. You, Atlee, you're awesome. I enjoy the broadcasts, and I didn't win, so I'll cut this short now.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations on the podium finisher tonight, Cody. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks, Atlee.
Yep, no problem. All right, we are now going to pull in your second place finisher from Wisconsin, Dells, Wisconsin. It is Will Witt in the 35. Will, this is Atlee in the broadcasting room. Do you have a copy?
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Well, another good performance here tonight. You didn't really need to do anything tonight. You were already locked in, but you still put on quite the show for us tonight here at Dover. I know you had a really, really good pit strategy where you and Nudie, y'all stayed out as long as you possibly could, and you were some of the last drivers to come in, and you made it a one-stop race, and y'all were fast, and we saw Cody Moore came in that last green flag pit stop, and you and Nudie just continued to stay out. Now, you couldn't quite get up to Nudie, but you still kept it in the top three. You did what you needed to do. You have a spot in the final three and another top five on your belt. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. I was already locked in. Nudie's not running for the championship. He just won the truck championship last night, so congrats to him. But, yeah, I mean, nothing to really lose in this race, so just go for broke. I figured guys were going to try to do three-stop. I'm like, hey, I got nothing to lose. I'll just try and stretch it as far as I can and see what happens. And luckily it worked out. I was kind of surprised that we had up to, at one point, it was just me and him on the lead lap, and then Cody obviously got back around Brian. But yeah, I mean, to get a 1-2 like that and be pretty much a lap up on the field feels good.
Now, what do you think you maybe could have done differently tonight to change the result?
Probably taking it easy the first few laps, save my tires a little bit more. I could keep up with Brian there at the end. I would go from like 2 seconds to a second back, and then back to second and a half, and it was just kind of always in that second and a half, 1 second range. So I think if I saved my tires for a few more laps, I probably could have caught up to him. I'm not saying I could have passed him. He was fast all night, and so was Cody. You know, Cody just kind of got a tough break with the pit strategy, but I feel like I was the third best car here tonight.
Now, before I let you go, and also, since you are locked into the final 3, I mean, how confident are you with Homestead?
Not at all. I got to put some practice in. Homestead's probably one of my worst tracks. It's a fun track, don't get me wrong, but it's probably one that I perform the worst at. So I'm definitely going to be putting as much practice as I can in. You know, even to make it this far it feels great for me. And I talked to my teammates about this. Like a couple seasons ago, I was a top 10 driver, you know, and now I'm shooting for top 5s, you know, if not better. So definitely improvement. I feel like I don't really necessarily feel like I belong here, but I'm glad I'm here. I feel like I've had the races when it counted to be here at the end. So definitely just going to put as much practice in as I can, but I got some tough competition going into that.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Oh, for sure. Obviously, like I said, my teammates, they help me week in and week out, get me to the point where I'm at. Mick over at Falcon Graphics for doing the cancer scheme this week, obviously for Devin Bacino and his mom. She was diagnosed with cancer a couple weeks ago. So shout out to him. Hope she's doing well. I know he's traveling right now, but and obviously you up in the booth, you do a great job week in and week out, and we love it.
I appreciate the kind words, and again, congratulations on the runner-up finish here tonight, and hopefully we will talk to you next week at Homestead.
Oh, let's hope, man. Take it easy.
All right. Yep, you too. And now we are going to pull in your winner from Santa Rosa, California, your SCSRA Fortuna Iron Truck Series champion. It's the 40 of Brian Nudie. Brian, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. Do you have a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Awesome. Well, your second win of the season here in the SCSRA National Series just happened here tonight at Dover, in a great race for you, and all of it kind of came down to that pit strategy. You and Will made it a one-stop race, stayed out as long as you possibly can, but what happened was you came in a lap before him, and that kind of kept you ahead of him for the rest of the race. And what happened was Cody would come in, and that would give the lead to you on that second green flag pit stop, and you were just able to stay ahead of the field for the rest of the race, able to hold off Will, and just, man, it was all about that pit strategy tonight. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
I was just trying to save tires as much as I could. I know this track is really, really hard on tires. It's probably the only track that I know where people actually blow a right front constantly. At least one person would do it per race, and especially I'm surprised it went green flag to flag. So that definitely really split everybody up with me and Will on the one stop, and then Cody on the two stop. I think if Cody would have done the two stop with us, or the one stop with us, he more likely would have won. I think I would have beat. Well, yeah. Well, me and Will were on the same. So yeah, I think Cody might have won, and then I would have got second, and then Will would have got third, and I would have been just a 1, 2, 3 YXU, but just in different order.
Now, what do you think sets you apart from the rest of the field here tonight?
Honestly, I really think it was saving tires, and then also brake bias. I was running even lower brake bias than all my teammates, so I think that might have been the biggest thing, the biggest factor, honestly, because I didn't really have outright speed. There was about probably 6 cars that could lay down a lap faster than me. I was just able to save the tires and just manage the race, and just I didn't really think I was going to win it at any point until after my pit stop. Then I was like, oh, I actually got a shot at this.
Now, before I let you go, Brian, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Oh, as always, I got to thank my beautiful wife for letting me do this. I got to thank you up in the booth, you and Josh. You guys do an awesome job on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Also got to give a shout out to all my teammates, YXU, or at YXU. Just one more race left, and then that's it for us. And awesome job for them. Kind of sucks for Colin today. He's not going to advance on, but at least 2 YXU guys are moving on. I am not sure who the third person is just yet. Well, I guess we'll find out in a little bit. And yeah, also Dustin Dean sucks. Got to give a shout out to Grandma Hagerman. Logan, we miss you. And just everybody in everybody in the league. Everybody's doing an awesome job. Love it. And Gil's Dump Truck Service and Pizzeria, the fastest dump trucks in the Northwest.
And also, I want to wish you congratulations on your SCSRA Fortuna Iron Truck Championship.
Perfect. Thank you very much. If you could tell Cody that'd be great too.
I got you. I'll try. But again, congratulations on the win tonight, Brian. Have a great rest of your night.
All right, you too. Thanks, buddy.
Nope, no problem. And that will do it for tonight's event here at Dover. Next week will be the championship race. Will Witt, Cody Moore are going to be 2 of the 3, and it'll probably be either Eddie Morris or Todd Mays as the 3rd driver. Tune in next broadcast so you can find out who the final 3 is and who the championship will be. Of course, we want to thank the league for allowing us to broadcast all of their races. Shout out to all of the admins, Brian Nudie, Eddie Morris, Michael Provolt, and Sylvan Seguin for all that they do for this league. They do a lot of things behind the scenes that a lot of people don't realize. So thank you to all of them. Thanks to series sponsor Dev Sports Cards for all they do for this league. Go help support them by purchasing some sports cards or Pokemon cards from their eBay store. And I want to thank everyone who tuned in to watch the broadcast tonight. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Check out our Twitter, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. And also make sure to check out our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com. There you can find Intensity Broadcasting merchandise, at Luis Racing merchandise, auto racing novelty t-shirts, and all of our league collections, the Original Rebels, SCSRA, Extreme Forces, Mayhem Racing League, and Thunderstruck especially. Make sure to check out the SCSRA collection if you're a fan of the SCSRA, and pick up an SCSRA t-shirt, SCSRA bubble-free stickers, or an SCSRA photo paper poster. And if you're interested in ever getting some merchandise made for your race team, make sure to contact us and we can get some stuff whipped up for you. It'll be on our store, and you can send the link to all of your family, friends, and fans. I'm Atlee Atman-Leeson on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and out.